Okay.
Okay. Shall we begin?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we are for the discussion of the topic autism and the internet. We have our special guest, special professional with us all the way from Peru. So let's have her introduction. Over to her.
Mhm. Okay. At present, I have been working with people with autism. It's a really interesting job. Okay. Um, can we answer the questions you made?
Yes, absolutely. Let's begin with the first one. What exactly is autism?
Okay, autism spectrum disorder. It's a complex developmental cognition involving in persistent challenges with social communication, interaction, restricted interest, repetitive behavior and movements. As the term says, autistic spectrum, it says that the spectrum it's really big. It's like a very wide world in which it not yet been discovered how many types of autism exist. Um, each person with autism it's really different. Um, it is if we're more than 1,000 types of autism. It's like personalities. We know that personalities for each person it's really different. It's the same with autism, which each autism person has a different personality, autistic personality.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, what are exactly the intentions in the autism? As per I know, the most common developmental therapy for the people with the ASD is speech and language therapy. Speech and language therapy helps in improving the person's understanding and use of this speech language. Is that correct?
Yeah, some cases, well, we have um, between types of autism, we have two types, verbal and non-verbal. Some autistic people can speak fluently, they can learn another language, but we have other type of autism where those people can talk, but they communicate using pictures, objects, etc.
Right. So, how effective are autism interventions? I mean, treat can rate reduce symptoms and have people with the autism with daily activities. Research also shows that early diagnosis and interventions, such as during preschool or before, are more likely to have major positive effects on the symptoms and later skills. So, what are exactly the effectiveness of the autism interventions?
Okay, about intervention about autism. Well, we need to know that when parents see the first alarm signs, it's important to go to the doctor and then with a psychologist, child psychologist, someone specialist in kids, to do an evaluation and intervention. After that, they need to be referred to a pediatric neurologist. According to the neuropediatrician says, it will be recommended to follow some therapies like occupational therapy, sensory integration therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, nutritional therapy, behavioral therapy with the name ABA. Uh,
Yes.
mhm,
Applied
okay.
neural analysis.
Applied behavior analysis, where
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are these the most effective treatments available today? That the applied behavior analysis, and the occupational therapy, the speech therapy, the physical therapy, and the pharmacological therapy. Are these treatments actually work to minimize the impact of core features and associated deficits of the IAS and to maximize the functional independent quality of the life? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct. Well, this therapy for ABA therapy, it's very controversial because in the therapy they use the privacy, emotional, and behavioral extension. Extinction.
Okay, so
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Some people are not are in disagree, but this is the unique behavioral therapy proved by the science. It's it depends how the professional applies, even not for the family, but um, in the school it's applied too because we try to use real situations to adapt a person in the context.
So, what are exactly strategies used to work with a child with autism? I mean, support routines and transitions. Most children with the autism are sensitive to abrupt changes in the routine and will learn best in the routines, in sessions, or use visual cues, use a special interest as a gateway to the teaching skills, and incorporate the sensory tools and support the social skills practice. Are there any other things that are strategies too to which can be used to with the child with the autism?
Well, like as child psychologist, I use different methods. For
Hmm.
autistic people, we need to take on account that if the kid is hyposensitive or uh, hypersensitive, um, to establish closeness with child without cause them stress or crisis. Many children will not want to sit on a table because their concentration is very limited. Um, so it's also a valuable seat with him or she on the floor, try to catch the attention with pictures or sensory stimulus. This is a good part for people with autism. Many things with different um, texture, they are really interested. Pictograms, it different types of objects.
So, what can be the forms of early intervention in autism? Like it can street trial training, that is BTT, and early intensive intervention, EIBI, portal response through, that is PRT, and analysis of the verbal behavior, that is ABB, right? So, are there any other forms of the early intervention in autism as well?
Could you repeat the last part because I can't
If,
hear well?
yeah, I should repeat again. The first was the discrete trial training, that is DTT. Another one is early intensive behavioral interventions, that EIBI. The third one, pivotal response training, is BRT. And the last one is the analysis verbal behavior, that is ABB.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other so the early intervention also available for the autism?
Yeah, this therapy is the most effective. At present, I have been applied with a kid in his school. For example, he had problems to adapt the routine. He used to do many crises in class, so I tried to change that behavior using sensory stimulus, mm, no allow bad behavior. For example, if he do a bad behavior, I'm trying to uh, uh, put him in another place first to be calm, and then I try to explain him why he can do that using pictograms. After that, I try to wait for some minutes and return to the classroom. In another hand, um, applied behavior analysis is very important to apply to do emotional regulation. It's important for learning.
So, are in the early intervention actually helps in autism?
Could you repeat? I can't hear well.
Yeah, can early intervention actually help with autism? Is it really helpful if we intervene the child that child actually have autism?
I can't hear. The audio is good for some minutes.
Okay, can you? Am I audible now?
Okay, I can hear.
Yes, yes. I was asking, can early intervention actually in autism? Like with early intervention, some children with autism make so much progress that they are no longer on the autism spectrum when they are older, and many children who later go off the spectrum, some things and like diagnosis and treatment at the younger ages. So, is it really helpful? Early intervention actually helps with the autism and detect the child like the symptoms of the autism, and that child is actually listed.
Yeah. Well. Mm, I can't hear the last part.
So, okay, it's okay, it's okay. Let me read the question. I was asking, can early
Maybe
intervention
could
actually help
you
the
write
autism?
that question, please, because the audio is little.
Okay, okay. Am I audible now?
Could you repeat?
Yeah. Can early intervention actually help with the autism? Is it really possible?
Yeah. It helps to have a better prognosis, behavioral and cognitive development. In addition, it helps to have a better adaptation for a life in society.
Okay. So, what are the main symptoms of autism? Are the just the delayed milestones is to understand that that child actually having autism symptoms? Are there any other main symptoms of autism?
I can't hear well again. So could you try?
Are there main symptoms of autism?
That is good. Could you write that question and try to speak the same time?
Okay, let me repeat the question. Are there any symptoms of autism?
No, the audio is not. Mm,
Are there any main symptoms of autism? Are there any main symptoms?
yeah. About the symptoms, well, we need to look and check if the kid has the same development. I'm sorry, take a minute, please. Okay. We need to look the social communication and interaction, some restricted interest. The same time, some kids have problems to eat food. Maybe they don't like many things for the texture, color, etc. Look if then the kid has repetitive behavior and movements. Um, we need to check for three types: social communication and interaction behavior. For example, if the kid making a little inconsistent eyes contact, having tendency to not look or listen people, in this part, some parents think my son can't hear, or maybe he's ignoring me. Rarely, rarely they enjoy of object or activities, or maybe they don't like toys. Sometimes they are slow to respond someone, even if the parents are calling their name. Having some difficulties to talk in a conversation because they can speak in a specific topic. Maybe they don't allow the person can respond, or maybe if the person is ignoring them, he couldn't notice that. About facial expressions, movements, gestures, um, is not according to his set. Maybe they could have an unusual tone of voice. Some people says he talks like a robot. I can't understand. Having trouble to understand another person point of view, or being unable to predict or understand people actions. Sometimes they can't understand emotions, empathy, not understand double meaning, or they can understand in literally. In this point, repetitive behavior, it can include repeating behaviors, having unusual behaviors such as repeating words, phrases, echolalia, for example, having lasting interested, such numbers, details. Maybe they can focus interest in objects or parts of object, getting upset by slight changes in a routine. For example, if they are used to do a routine, they need to do that routine in literally, because a little change could make him or she feels stressed or in a crisis. At the same time, being more sensitive or less sensitive than other people, for example, sensitive from the light, noise, clothing, temperature, etc. At the same time, we have to take on account the sleep problems. Many parents used to say, I can't sleep because my son, it's 4 a.m., he can't sleep, or he used to wake up very early. He has, or he or she has disorganized sleep routine. This is a big problem for parents because they don't know how to do a sleep routine with them. They can sleep well during the night. Maybe they can cry all the night, or maybe they don't want simply.
So So, what are exactly the treatments for autism, other than the behavioral mutation therapies and like, additional therapies, the family therapies, and other therapies, or the medications? Are there any other treatment options available for the autism?
Well, therapy focused in sensory, in special for hyposensitive and hypersensitive kids, physical if they need behavioral learning therapy. Sometimes the neuropediatrician, in some cases, he makes a prescription pharmacological treatment. Um, it depends of the case. If the kid really needs maybe to regulate some behaviors.
Mm. So, how can someone calm down an autistic child? Like, you have to be empathetic towards that child. The empathy means the listening and acknowledging their struggles without judgment and make them feel safe and loved. Eliminate the punishments. Focus on child and not staying the standards, bystand, and break out our sensory toolkit. Teach them coping strategies once they are calm. Are there any other ways to calm down the autistic child?
You mean about strategies to...
Yes, how to calm down the autistic child? That the child is actually showing the symptoms of the autism and is hyperactive or himself or anything like that. We have to just calm down that autistic child. And what can be the strategies to calm down that child?
Okay, first is not compel the kid to do actions. We need to wait that he or she act naturally. If we see a crisis, emotional crisis, it's important go out from the place. For example, if the kid is in the classroom, is in the uh, commercial center or in any place, it's important to go with him or she to space more quietly. Um, in some cases, for hyposensibility kids, we can do a strong OH. Mm, Try to give them a sensory toy. For many kids, they like to look um, um, so- bubbles. Many kids like
Yes.
bubbles. Maybe when they are in a crisis, if the person use bubbles, he can look with attention and feel better. Um, the sensory stimulation, try to explain. Maybe for many parents, they can say, my son don't understand the situation. If I speak, mm, it's not good. But I see that for many kids or people with autism, they can understand if we talk with them in his ear. If we use clear language, because in the moment they can hear well if we talk a lot. So we need to be clear with the actions, the reasons why they need to be calm. Um, Try to explain in his ear. Try to be in the same size with them, and try to um, to be at the same time, maybe we can use pictures to explain some actions in the moment. Many parents used to have many papers with them to try to explain the situation. It's important give them their time. Let them cry. Try to be calm. Maybe we can change the attention with any object or with using color blue. I see that for many children with autism, the color blue make them feel more calm. This is really interesting, and I understand that the reason why the color blue represent autism.
So, is it actually possible the autistic child ever be become normal? Is it actually possible?
Yeah, it is possible. It depends of the level of autism, if is low, medium, or several. I I have many cases about people with moderate autism, and they can do a normal life. It depends a lot of support at the home, support from parents, that therapy they can receive in early intervention. For low autism is it's more it's more easy because in many cases they can speak, but in the therapies they need to focus in express their necessity, because maybe they can talk but they can explain how they feel. So we need to focus in that part. If at for moderate autism, we need to work a lot in behavior. They need to try to adapt to life in real life. In this point, it's important work in occupational therapy, daily routine, homework about real life, putting him in real situation, using some example how we can make them more independent. At the same time, we need to help them to do many things for themselves, like eat or select their clothes, or for example, simply actions like try to bring me something from the kitchen, or maybe putting order the toys. Many things to try to help them to be more independent.
So it's actually like that. There's some so usually those with these severe problems eventually lead to normal and the near normal life. So it is possible for any autistic child to be
Yeah, it is possible. It depends for the parents. I think that it's really important the parent support, because I have seen some cases where the parents used to ignore their son, or maybe they are thinking in other things. The advance it's not the same from a kid with a lot of support by parents. So I think that it will depends for the parents.
So at what age autism can be treated? Can it be between 5 to 16 years of age, or maybe above or below that?
Do you mean about the therapy time? The time of therapy?
Which therapy?
Do you mean about the question, the time of
No, I asked you
therapy?
that at what age is it possible that a child can be treated? At what age? Can it be between 5 to 16 years, or maybe below 5 years, or maybe above 16? Is it possible? Or is it possible between 16 years of age to treat that autistic child?
The audio again, I hear very low.
Okay, okay. Am I audible? Okay, I want to ask this question, that at what age autism can be treated? Is it between 5 years, 16 years, or can be above 16 years? The child can be treated above 16 years, or is it just between 5 to 16 years of age? At which years of age? At what age autism can be treated?
Well, we need to see that if the kid do early intervention, for me, the best age for do therapy, it could start 2 years, because many parents used to say my son was normal until 2 years, because he stopped to do many things. He lose many abilities, and I feel worried. Why? Because my son, even if he can talk, but in a moment he stopped to do it. So if we see those symptoms in a kid, so we need to do intervention in the moment uh, to reinforce their learnings. At the same time, well, the age could be um, could be good in early intervention, but I had a case with a teenager. He made therapy at 13 years. It was, well, little difficult. Um, Maybe they need more support, but in the end, he learned many things. So I think that if we can do it more early, that intervention, it could be better.
So it's like that the physicians use certain drugs in combination with the behavioral treatments administered on the children in the age group of 5 to 16. It has come as a big relief for the parents of the children suffering autism and the children, as they can avail services for these kind of physicians.
Yeah, I think that it's important try to support them about learning, about cognitive reforms. Sometimes I saw some cases where the mom used to tell, I study a lot during the night, but the next day he can remember the things we were studying at night. But in this point, it's important, don't lose the hope, and try to support them using pictures. For example, if the person with autism has memory problems, we need to support them using pictures to try to remember, because they can remember, but they need maybe some help try to learn and try to remember the thing we were talking, for example.
Okay, so does early intervention really helps? I mean, early intervention services can change child's developmental path and improve outcome of the children, families, and communities. It, helping our child help our family. Families actually get benefited from interventions by being able to better meet the child's needs from an early age and throughout their lives. So, is it really possible that does early interventions actually does help for the child with the autism? Or if the delay happens, what actually happens if delay occurs?
Could you repeat again, please? I see that
Yes,
that's
does
going to be.
yes, it does early intervention help?
Yeah, okay, but I see that the time from the meet will end soon, so we can try to
Okay.
enter again to the same link.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay, I'm going to stop.